Hi West Michigan, I'm back at the Mercy Heart Center with Blair Moreau, and we are talking about heart disease, how to prevent heart disease, ways to stay healthy and exercise at home, and now we're going to take a look at death of an artery.
I know. You know, what a scary concept when you think about this, you know, and it can happen to any of us. You know, I mean, granted, yes, I do physical activity every single day. I perform a routine. My wife and I try to eat healthy, but that doesn't mean that I don't already have some clogging in my artery. Yeah. You know, our goal is to help prevent, and that's what we should all be doing, is looking at helping prevent. But there's certain things that happen in life, okay? If you have a history of hypertension, okay, what happens to the hoses in the car if that pressure stays too high in the hoses of your car? They're eventually going to break. Same thing happened with the arteries. Arteries are just nothing but hoses in the body that carry fluid and oxygen and nutrients to the working muscles. Okay, if an artery breaks, it has to repair. And it repairs itself with a patching material. And this isn't a beautiful patch that, you know, when my mom patched my pants, she did this really nice patch. You can even tell this isn't the same. Okay, this is like a coral reef. Okay, the patching material. So it's jagged, it's ugly, and then anything that comes through starts to stick into that, onto that. And then it slowly builds itself up to the point that oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood doesn't get through that artery anymore, and it can cause an ischemic problem. A problem mostly we all know around the heart with a heart attack.
This is scary. It makes me think of, it's not like Fix-A-Flat.
No, it's not that really nice. You know, it does cause some intervention that has to happen, bypass surgery, stent placement, this type of thing. But usually it's because a person comes in and they have a problem. Now there are risk factors that are associated with this disease process that occurs on those coronary arteries. One is hypertension. It's nasty.
High blood pressure.
Don't ignore it. You know, the scary thing is about hypertension, it's known as the silent disease. It has no symptomology. It's the first time people usually experience hypertension is if they're diagnosed with it in their doctor's office. But many of us don't go to the doctors on a regular basis anymore. So usually it's when they end up in the ER with a heart attack.
And so they've had hypertension, which is high
blood pressure, right. Another disease process is diabetes. Okay, it causes a lot of damage to arterial walls if it's not in check, if it's not controlled. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're getting good education to understand this disease process to help prevent this from occurring. The other one we talked about is elevated cholesterol levels.
I have that. And this
especially those LDLs. You know, those LDLs like to grab as much cholesterol as they can and then go hang out on arterial walls. They're a main producer of arterial sclerosis or clogging of those arteries.
Maybe what is this? This little thing shows us something.
This shows fat deposits in an artery and how it decreases that blood flow. So if you turn this over, you can see how it restricts blood flow going through, or your red blood cells getting through that. And guess what? See how they can stick? You know, so it inhibits the blood flow. The exact same thing happens with this. So, you know, we like to control a lot of things. We like to know a lot of numbers, phone numbers, social security numbers, dates of birth. Know your numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, your blood glucose levels. Control those things. You have no control of what happens outside of your body. We can control the lighting. Yes, know the numbers. It's important. You know what? Form a partnership with your doctor. I cannot push that enough with people, you know, to help with it, to help you control what's going on inside of your body.
Well, we have to think preventatively, because that's what we tend to do. We tend to wait till we're really sick or we feel awful. That's when we go to the doctor, because most of us don't want to take the time out of our busy schedules to go to the doctor, just like we don't want to take time out of our busy schedules to do
exactly.
It's an excuse, and you know what? There's nothing more important than your health. We all say the most important thing in our life is our families. Well, if we're not here, or if we don't have the health to enjoy our families, for them to enjoy us, we need to do preventive measurements.
And you know what? It starts with you. You are accountable for your own body. No one else is accountable for it. You know, and if you don't take the measures to be healthy, and everyone says, well, I have to work because I have to take care of my family, or I have to get home because I have to take care of my family. Well, if you're not taking care of yourself, what's going to happen when you pass on? Who's going to be taking care of your family?
Exactly.
You know, you need to, it starts with you, and it carries on to everyone else. You have to make yourself best before you can help anyone else. It's kind of like the old saying, if you're on an airplane, and the the cabin becomes depressurized
yeah.
and the mask falls,
Put it
you
in
put your own on first before you can help the person next to you. The same thing is with health and physical activity.
That's true.
You have to take care of yourself first before you can even come close to helping anyone else.
And it's so instinctive for mothers to put their kids first. And I mean, I remember when my children were little and ear infections, and you're running to the doctor, but I'd get sick myself, and I don't want to take the time or spend the money or do it. I've got to go to work. I have to take care of my kids. But boy, if you get sick, you really can't take good care of your children. So it's important that you take care of yourself.
Right, and that's for everyone. That's for every
everyone.
single one of us. And here's this is a healthy heart.
That's a healthy heart.
This is the normal heart. This is the heart that has a bypass graft to it, a couple bypass grafts. So this one has a blockage in its LAD, a blockage in a circumflex and RCA. Those are arteries that go around the body, left anterior descending circumflex artery and your right coronary artery. So, this person had a blockage. That caused it.
That probably was
closer to that one, yeah.
Turn it upside down.
And so it needed to have new tubing put around it to supply blood to those areas of the heart.
Now, where does this tubing come from?
We take it from other parts of the body. Okay, we can take it from the arm, and we can take it from the leg.
All right.
Okay, radial artery or saphenous vein.
Okay, and that actually goes up into the heart.
Yes.
Wow. And so,
so
that new tubing allows
the circulation to get back.
Up. This tubing should be clear like this. Is that the?
That's our general goal. Yes. Now, the thing is that now it's up to each individual to modify those risk factors to help keep those open.
Right.
So to keep the blood pressure in check, the diabetes controlled, the hyperlipidemia or dyslipidemia, elevated cholesterol controlled, eating a healthy diet. Stop smoking.
Oh gosh.
Cannot promote that enough, that tobacco habit. And that is so difficult for people to quit.
I know. Smoking and heart disease, smoking and lung cancer, smoking and throat cancer. It
has so many detriments to the body.
It does. And I know it's a really tough thing to quit. I have some family members that I harp on, please quit smoking.
But it's so important.
Gosh,
it is so important. And then, follow a diet that's lower in fat, lower in sodium. Sodium's a sponge in the body. So we want to make sure that your diet is lower in sodium so you don't have that extra fluid buildup on the body.
Yeah, sodium is in things that we don't think about. Soup. I was on a soup diet for a while. Not a good thing.
No.
But boy, a lot of soup has so much sodium in it.
Right.
So
your sodas. You were talking about your sodas, your soups. Everything processed.
Oh, people think diet soda. Oh, I drink diet soda.
Right. But you still have sodium.
It's loaded with sodium.
Anything processed has to have sodium in it. That's part of the preservative that's going to keep it healthy for a period of time.
Okay, wow, you just are a wealth of information. I love this, and I thank you so much. This is great. It seems like there were some other topics we were going to talk about today, and it's just, you had some other ideas. We talked about New Year's resolutions. We talked about how important it is. Oh, the Heart Center itself. We were going to go back and talk some more things about the Heart Center, because this is a great facility. And you have 2 gyms here?
I have 2 rehab rooms.
Rooms, yeah.
We have a rehab room for our phase 2 patients, our cardiac phase 2 patients. They're being monitored. They're wearing a telemetry unit so we can see what their cardiovascular system is doing. They're being monitored by my therapist who progress their activity. They set individual treatment plans for each patient based on what the goals of that patient are. What are the risk factors that are associated with their disease process.
The heart doctors are usually the ones that refer them.
Yes, the cardiologists or thoracic surgeons.
Okay, they refer them here.
Yep.
And then you have specialists, and you have a nutritionist.
I have a dietitian on staff. Okay. We have exercise physiologists, nurses. I have a physician, Dr. O'Brien's my medical director. He's right here on staff in case we have any medical emergencies.
Yeah, we're so fortunate in West Michigan, right in Muskegon County, to have this Heart Center. It's top of the line. It really is.
It is. It is state of the art. It is very state of the art. Our equipment is state of the art. Yeah. My staff, they are the top notch. I would put them against any other rehab program in the nation.
In the nation.
Yes, and we're constantly improving our quality. setting high quality measurements and progressing ourselves. We're raising our own bar on a regular basis because we want to be the best for our community.
Well, they certainly have good leadership.
They work very hell, gosh.
Yes, positive.
I appreciate
and
that.
that's it. I think that's true that a lot of your staff that work here, I've noticed they're very positive people, and you need that when you're going through this. And it's so great to see the smiling faces and the positive people that are helping everyone get better and live healthier lifestyles. And our program today has been about telling you how to prevent. We don't want to see you here.
Right. We want people to set a plan, and we talked about that prior to our discussion today. So many people, especially this time of year, between Thanksgiving and New Year, are going to put on weight. Okay, they don't set a plan when those holidays come. Instead, they get reactive.
Well,
okay, what can I do right now?
Everywhere you go, there's treats, there's goodies,
treats, and it's all high fat. Everything is it's high fat, at a holiday season.
A lot of cream cheese.
Plus the alcohols.
Yes.
A lot of parties, and alcohol is associated with those parties, and so people drink, their inhibitions start to go down, they start going for the higher fat.
Sure.
You know what? Set a plan. I'm only going to limit myself to this many alcoholic drinks, or I'm going to drink water.
Yeah,
it's okay
in between each drink.
Right, it's okay to drink water. Alcohol doesn't have to be associated with every event. It's okay to drink water too. Okay. Another thing is, if you are performing a physical activity program and you're doing 30 minutes, this time of year, bump it up to 45.
Sure.
What's an extra 15? If you're doing 3 days a week, bump it up to 5 days a week. Get a couple more in, and those are banking good calories. What a lot of people tend to do this time of year is they say, you know what, we have a party tonight. I'm going to bank some calories. I'm not going to eat all day.
Right, I won't eat
I'm not going to eat all day, so I can go to this party. Well, what people don't end up realizing that they do is they go to the party and they end up gorging themselves. They're so hungry, by the time they get there, they probably eat 3 to 4 times more calories than they would have if they would have eaten regular.
The other thing is, I'll just skip breakfast tomorrow. Now, you need breakfast.
You
it really does jumpstart your metabolism for the day, and I've been guilty of that too. I ate too many of those cream cheese puffs or those roll-ups. I love those little roll-ups. All the goodies at the holidays, and then you think, I'll just skip breakfast in the morning. Well, that's what throws off the whole routine.
You stick, you know what? Stick with your meal plan.
Yep.
You're not banking calories if you're going to gorge yourself.
Right.
If you want to bank good calories, like I said, increase your exercise program, more minutes and more times during the week.
And even if it's just a few of those push-ups on the counter.
Exactly. Anything. Set a plan. Get a plan. Stick with that plan. Yep. Build your confidence.
Build confidence. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I've had fun.
Yeah, and you're a lot of fun, and you give a lot of great information. Might have to have you back again.
You know where to find me.
Yeah, I do. Thank you, West Michigan.
Bye, West Michigan.
Show.